Okay. All right. Although I'll be administering all of you this semester, I am also your examiners. That means I'll be looking at your responses for writing tests as well as your speaking tests. So today my point is to explain to all of you macam mana kita nak buat our writing test and also our speaking test. Yeah. Okay. We'll start off with the writing test. So I'll be sharing my screen in a while, and then later nanti saya akan I will show to you some examples of ataupun sample, but not to worry, those samples nanti will be shared insyaAllah with all of you dalam kita punya WhatsApp group. And if let's say along the way you have question to ask about EET 699, do let me know, yeah? All right. You can just ask verbally, or you can just use the chat box in order to ask questions, yeah? So let me just open the writing test first. So I'm going to share with you on the screen a sample of writing test. Are you able to view the question paper? Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so basically this is your writing test. However, because of the pandemic, we have changed the way we conduct the test. So before the pandemic, before COVID-19, it was pen and paper. So it was like any normal examination where you have to come to the examination hall and then you have to, you know, kenalah register, and then lepas tu, you know, we take attendance, macam like any normal final examination punya procedure. But then again, because of the pandemic, so this will be conducted online. So nanti later I'll explain to you macam mana it is conducted online, and it will be conducted via UFuture. So we'll be using UFuture in order to conduct this writing test. But before that, let me just explain about the writing test first dulu, yeah? Okay, so basically there are two tasks, task number 1 and task number 2, and you are advised to spend about 40 minutes on task number 1 and 50 minutes on task number 2. So if we were to add up those minutes, it will be 90 minutes. Okay, it will be 90 minutes, and then so basically 90 minutes is about 1.5 hours. All right, 1.5 hours. However, our test yang kita buat ini, yang kita akan buat online ni, most likely they will stretch to 2 hours if I'm not mistaken. All right, I think it will stretch to 2 hours if I'm not mistaken lah, because of the internet connection, stuff like that lah. So you are advised to actually use your time wisely lah on both tasks. And those are simple tasks, trust me. They are simple tasks. And then nanti kita go through tengok sample dia. So nanti your job is just to respond to the given task. Yeah, you'll be given some situations, and then you are asked to respond to it. So let us look at task number 1 dahulu. Yeah. So basically this is task number 1, and then your colleague emailed you the following message. So you just pretend that you received this in an email from your colleague. Congratulations to your to you for organizing a successful event. I would like to organize a similar event based on your experience. Can you share with me the challenges you face in organizing the event and how you handled them? So as you can see, the email is very generic, or it's very general in a way that it does not mention the specific name of event. So it can just be anything. So this is where creativity comes in. So you just need to use your imagination, the kind of event. You can also respond this based on a true life experience if you had conducted any successful event when you were doing your degree. Okay. So you can actually use that as a sample, not sample, as your response to this question if you want to. Okay. So your job is just to respond to this, okay? Based on the questions given, they ask you to share the challenges and then also how you handled them. That means how do you overcome those challenges in order to ensure that the event became successful, you know? So you just write it out. don't think too much about the paragraphing, because this is just a reply of an email. So some students feel that they want to write in 1 or 2 paragraphs, or some feel that 1 paragraph is already sufficient. That is entirely up to you. There will be no mark for organization. However, number one, bear in mind that you have to answer the question. So don't go astray. Okay, don't go astray. And now that you're doing this online, yeah, I'm not trying to teach you how to cheat, but what you can do is, since you're doing this online, if there are words that you don't understand, you can just Google them. All right, try to find the meaning, try to understand the whole thing. Cuba fahamkan dia punya situasi tu, so that when you answer the question or you respond to the situation, you tak adalah lari daripada tajuk. Apa yang membimbangkan saya is sometimes when I when I check your responses, some students have gone astray from responding whatever that you are asked to. So ada yang terlari lah daripada tajuk tu. Itu yang kita tak nak. Okay, we don't want that to happen. So if you are not really clear, I think the best is for you to just, there are words that you don't understand, Google the words and try to understand the meaning so that it makes sense to you, the whole thing, the whole situation, so that you tak adalah merepek satu ataupun lari dari tajuk. Number 2, you are to reply the email within 150 words. Now, I have to be very, very clear about this. Please go according to this. 150 words. Right within the limit. There is no such thing. Tak ada kata dua. Sir, kalau terlebih 10 tak apa ke? Terlebih 5 tak apa? Tak ada. Tak boleh. Tak dibenarkan. 150 words, sharp, full stop. That's it. If you want to write less, it's okay. Up to you. But janganlah tulis terlalu sedikit. 150 words, average is about 75. If you write below than 75, you cannot be expecting full marks. You cannot be expecting good marks or good grades. Am I right? Because we are still judging, we're still looking in terms of your content. As much as this is more on the proficiency level, by giving good response, good content that reflects well how proficient you are in the language. You kena faham tu. Kalau you are giving a very brief content, you write less than 75 because average is 75. You write less than 75. It reflects well on the knowledge grip that you have with you, plus and on your proficiency level. Okay. But don't write more than 150 words. But what happens if you write more than 150 words? Nothing happens. You can still submit the responses. But when I assess your response, I will just look right up until 150th word. That's it. Sampai ke perkataan 150 tu sahaja. Nothing beyond than that. Alright? So rugilah kalau 150, mungkin point tak masuk lagi. Point dia selepas 150 tu, you rugi. Because you won't get mark for that. Okay, so try to write within the limits. Okay, so this is basically task number 1. It's a very short 150 words. All right, you should be able to respond to this. The questions, the situation are very general. It's not something that requires you to have a prior reading, prior reading for this test. Tak ada keperluan untuk you kena baca something ke tu. Tak perlu. This is just to test out or to look at your proficiency level. Okay. And then, of course, we have task number 2, and the response is a little bit longer, 250 words. So this is just a sample when you return to the office after attending a seminar. So as you can see here, we plan out the situation very generic so that you can actually use any kind of situation or experience that you have had before. For example, you may have attended a seminar, before ke sebelum ni ke, and then now that your head of department, your HOD asks you to write an article about it, so you can actually use, because the reason why kita keep this situation in general, because kita nak students to be able to use their experience if they ada pengalaman attending a seminar ke, atau maybe you may have read somewhere else kan, a sample of essay ke apa ke, and you want to use that point, it is advisable. Tapi okay, this is the part, tapi tak apa, nanti I'll come to that part in a while ya. So you use any kind of life experience. Kalau you cakap saya tak ada pun experience, Mr. E, I mean I have not had experience pun attending any seminar ke apa ke, is it okay if I invent the the content. This is also applicable for task number 1 tadi. Kalau you tanya, is it okay kalau saya create, saya invent information tu? Tak wujud pun saya buat sebab saya tak ada ni. Boleh, tidak ada masalah. Because as I mentioned to you, we are actually looking at your proficiency level. So you're going to write an article, and the article is to be published in your company's newsletter. These are the 3 points that you need to include in the topic of the seminar, who the organizer and attendees were, and what you gain from the seminar. As you can see, we are actually looking at these 3 as well as we examined your response. Saya tengok response you, I'll be looking at these 3. And if you're asking Mr. A, perlu ke ada paragraphing? Yes, of course kena, sebab dia a little bit longer, 250 words, you may want to organize a little bit. Do not write more than 250 words as I mentioned to you. The same thing applied for task number 2. Jangan tulis lebih daripada 250 patah perkataan. Okay, and then you try to answer the questions given here, topic of seminar, who the organizer and attendees were, and what you gain from the seminar, something that you want to write. And then ada yang tanya, but I don't really know the format of article writing. Tak perlu, just the topic and begin your essay. Simple as that. You tak perlu ingat because we don't have mark for format. Jangan risau, tidak ada markah untuk format. Okay, sama juga macam tadi, you're replying an email. So ada yang siap tulis macam to, from, title, semua siap dia buat macam email tau. Sebab dia takut, dia kata tak tahu betul ke kan, tak salah ke apa. Don't worry, we don't have mark for format. We don't have mark for format, yeah? So jangan risau. Alright, so basically this is what the sample, so there are 2 tasks lah, ada 2 je. Okay, and you have like 2 hours to complete this. 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. Okay. Any question that you wish to ask before I explain macam mana to go about this? Macam mana nak menjawab?
Saya nak tanya.
Yes.
Kiranya maksudnya dekat task 1 tu tak perlulah ya tulis to, from semua tu. Just terus masuk paragraph untuk
Ya, betul.
Okay.
Jangan risau. Just terus jawab je soalan tu. Okay. Tapi kalau you tengok task number 2, memang you are required to write the topic. So jangan lupa lah tulis topik tu. Okay, tapi jangan risau sangat pasal format. Sebab saya takut lepas ni ada yang kata, what if bukan artikel yang keluar? What if report pula Mr. A? Dah nak kenal report punya format ke? Tak perlu. Jangan risau. Okay, we don't have mark for the format. Tidak ada mark. We didn't allocate mark for format. Kita tak ada allocation for format. So jangan risau. Anything else?
Saya nak tanya.
Yes.
Macam jawapan nanti kena relate dengan current situation ke? Contoh macam sekarang kan pandemic kan, kita macam kena relate dengan something macam tu ke?
No, not necessarily. Yang penting mesti relevant and in relation to the situation given. Okay, to the situation given. So kalau you tengok tadi dia kata seminar. So you tulis je lah pasal seminar. Tapi kalau you invent information, you cakap you attended a seminar on COVID-19 vaccination. Tak apalah, tulis je lah pasal tu. Tapi ada orang lain nak tulis seminar lain, seminar how to improve your English. Tak ada kena-mengena pun dengan COVID. Pun tak ada masalah. So tidak ada keperluan for you to actually write something with, unless the situation requires you to do so. Maksudnya dia kata based on the current situation, the pandemic, apa semua, of course you kena tulis. Satu saya punya cadangan, this is my advice. You tengok situasi tersebut. You tengok situasi tersebut. Kalau ada dimension pasal COVID, pasal pandemic, then you may want to write in relation to that. Kalau dia very general macam yang contoh, tapi trust me, it will be something that is generic. Something yang general saja. Sebab kita tak nak student tu terikat dengan satu. Contohnya lah kalau saya kata tulis pasal pandemik, tak semua orang boleh tulis pasal pandemik. Tapi kita tak nak nanti sebabkan you tak boleh tulis pasal pandemik, therefore we think you are not proficient in the language. Tak semestinya. So kita takut macam itu, isu-isu yang macam itu. Sebab tu kita kasih situasi yang sangat general, yang you boleh kaitkan dengan almost apa-apa sahaja. Alright? Ada apa-apa lagi soalan tak? Tak ada Alright So I'll I'll stop presenting ni because saya nak tunjuk pula dekat in future tu. Mana you nak jawab ya. So I'll be sharing a tab perhaps yang you future punya. Let me know if you are able to view this ya. Okay. Dah keluar dah dapat tengok Okay, saya tak tahu macam mana interface untuk student punya feature. This is I'm using my account. Tapi I think more or less is going to be the same lah. Okay, more or less is going to be the same. So bila you dah, sepatutnya you dah boleh enroll dalam EET 699. Kalau you punya interface lebih kurang macam gini, so we are, because saya pakai account saya sebagai pensyarah ya. You punya account student. So saya tak tahu interface macam mana.
It is quite similar.
Alright, if it is similar then it's okay. So by right, you should be having this, you know, your current semester, if you're doing you're taking any course this semester, and one of the courses should be EET 699, something like this. So of course you have to enroll in, that means you have to go in lah, okay? Like in this case, I'll just click on it and then automatically it'll be inside, alright? Okay, once dah masuk and you see English exit test here, as you can see dekat bahagian tepi ni, on your left panel, okay, there's this one panel ni. So dia ada yang drop down lah. So apa yang I want you guys to do is to go to this continuous assessment. Okay, continuous assessment. So you click on it. And then as you can see here, there's the word assessment kat situ. So you click on the word assessment. Okay, once you have clicked on the word assessment, dia akan keluar macam inilah. So ni interface saya. Saya tak tahu kalau student akan keluar semua ke atau dia akan keluar only the one sahaja ke, I don't know. Tapi I'm pretty sure dia akan keluar semua macam gini kot, tak silap saya. Okay, dia akan keluar semua macam gini lah. And what you can do is you kena click on it lah. Tapi macam yang gini, you tak boleh click on it lah. You tak boleh join pun sebenarnya. Because why? Because benda ni dah pun disable. Ini untuk yang the previous semester. So nanti tajuk dia ni name kan. So tajuk dia akan keluar macam ini. So once I received the name of the ni, because kita ada as you can see we have 6 sessions for writing tasks. On the 24th there are 3 slots and on the 25th there are another 3 slots. So all in all 6 slots. There will be 6 different topics ataupun 6 different names lah. Dia bukan different in what sense, bukanlah berbeza sangat, tidak. Number one, the situation will be different because kita ada question bank. So not every slot will be getting the same situation. So kalau you join slot yang kita punya on the 25th at 8:30, so the situation will be different as compared to the one at 11 or at 2:30 PM on the same date ataupun the one previous. Okay, the previous on the previous day tu tak sama. And then dia punya nama dekat sini pun dia akan berbeza in a sense that of the date and also the slot punya time. Dia akan berbeza dari segi situ. Tapi I just want to make sure that you click on the right one, because if you click on the wrong one, nanti bila when I want to grade, the system will capture that no response from your side. So nanti nama ni I will just copy and paste dalam kita punya WhatsApp group. And you just make sure that you are actually clicking on the exact task. Okay. So once you dah click, of course you akan masuk ke dalam tu and you are going to write in the so-called, dia ada box, dia akan keluar situasi dia dekat bahagian bawah tu, you boleh respond. There's like a reply box kat situ. And if you have been using this or your lecturers have been using this feature for other courses, so it will be more or less the same thing. Sama je. Kalau you tak tahu pun, dia boleh self-navigated in the sense that you boleh navigate on your own how to respond to this. You boleh tengok, you boleh scroll bawah and then you tengok, oh kat sini lah tempat yang nak kena respond. So you click on it and then you type your responses. So there are students yang rasa macam, sir, is it okay if I type on Word dahulu? Now here's my advice. Here is my advice. Type on Word dahulu and then paste dalam box. Yang Word tu jangan buang. You know why? Sometimes the system can get haywired. Tiba-tiba you tekan apa tu, dia assume, okay, completed. You kata, but I've not done task number 2. So bila you tak siap task number 2, tiba-tiba dia tulis itu completed, and then you beritahu saya, I had to inform dekat orang yang jaga sistem tu to reset balik sebab you tak jawab lagi task number 2. Tapi you tanya, but task number 1 saya dah siap. Saya dah penat type. So I had to do again. Nampak tak? Bazir masa kan? So please, to be cautious, to be on the safe side, type on Word dahulu, paste it in a box. If it gets haywire, tak ada masalah. Nanti kita reset balik, you copy balik response yang you dah type dekat Word tu. Kan senang? You pun jimat masa. Tak perlu nak type balik from the beginning. Kan? And also, if let's say you have completed both tasks, task 1 and task 2, dah submit semua, I check pun okay, tak ada masalah, I have received your responses. The one that you have written in Word, jangan padam, jangan delete, save somewhere on the desktop. Save je. Save sampailah keputusan EET tu dah keluar. Just to be on the safe side. Just in case if one day ke, I don't know, because you know, as much as I want to trust the system, kita yang buat sistem tu and things can just be the opposite. Okay, so we don't want that to happen and God forbid kita tak nak benda tu berlaku. But if it happens and I had to refer to you and ask if you ever save your responses, at least you kata dah saya ada save dua jawapan tu. So you just submit to me and I can give you marks. I mean I can examine it and give you the marks or the grades. Do I get myself clear? Yang pasal ni faham Tapi saya tak boleh tunjuklah you interface macam mana nak jawab sebab yang ini tak adalah, ni semua dia dah disable sebab dia dah yang the previous session, the previous semester. And then lepas tu nanti sekarang saya tak boleh nak tunjuk sangat lah kat dalam tu. Tapi nanti there will be like a specific instructions just in case the students salah tekan dan sebagainya ke, macam saya cakap tadi lah, which will bring you to a part where they assume you have completed both tasks tapi unfortunately task number 2 tak siap lagi dan sebagainya. Kadang-kadang bukan apa, kerana student tertekan. Sebenarnya bukan dia tak tahu, dia tertekan sahaja. Yang sistem ni lah dia macam one way. Dia tak boleh revert, tak boleh tertekan. Dia tak ada macam akan keluar, are you sure? Macam tak ada. Dia terus assume you dah nak submit. Lepas tu tiba-tiba you kata, alamak belum siap lagi. Dia tak ada macam you boleh ghostan balik. Tak ada. Dia macam one way je. So if that happens, I have to inform the person yang jaga sistem to reset your ID so that you'll be able to answer it again. Tapi you have to start from the beginning. You cannot start from where you stop. Tak boleh. Itu jadi masalah nanti student bila dia tak copy dia punya jawapan yang pertama tu. So to be on the safe side, just write your response on Word. And then lepas tu, once you are done, baru copy paste masuk dalam box tersebut. And then do the same thing for task number 2. At least you're on the safe side. At least you're not wasting time if anything happens to the system or if anything happens. And sometimes we can never know. You got locked out from your browser because of internet connection, for example. Ataupun you are using a laptop but you don't have battery with your laptop. And then tiba-tiba, but you are actually using yang power supply tu, and then there's no electricity at home. Tiba-tiba laptop shut down and then you nak restart balik and then you have to start all over again. So saya tak tahu sistem tu macam mana, I did not invent the system, so I don't know whether kalau you shut down and then you masuk balik browser yang sama and then they be able to capture the last tu ke, ataupun you have to join in again and whatnot. So if that happens, so but the best solution is to reset balik you punya ID so that you'll be able to answer from the beginning. So if that happens, at least you dah ada dah jawapan. Sebab kalau Word ni tiba-tiba you tak save pun, kalau laptop you macam laptop I lah kan. So once you reboot balik ke atau you switch it on balik, dia akan save, macam dia ada auto save kat situ. You can retrieve balik tapi dekat at the very last word yang you tengah type lah masa tu. Alright? Do you get what I'm trying to say here? I don't know how to say it in a very good way so that everyone understand, but I'm pretty sure you get the point, right? Okay, so far anything to ask about your writing test? No question?
Sir, Mr. E,
Yes.
Dua-dua test ni dalam masa 2 jam ya?
Ya betul, dalam masa 2 jam.
Okay.
Okay, kalau tidak ada apa-apa, I just want to talk about plagiarism. Itu is my job lah Okay, kita tidak ada, I mean when we are using this, we cannot actually detect whether or not you have copied the responses from elsewhere. Ya, so kita tak boleh nak detect sebab kita punya UFuture tu dia tak ada feature yang boleh detect plagiarism. But we can retrieve your responses and we can always upload it on Turnitin if we find that your answers are too good to be true. But what I normally do is I don't actually submit kat Turnitin pun. I terus copy je you punya jawapan tu. I search kat Google je. Sebab normally students will be doing that. Saya tak rasa you ada masa yang begitu banyak untuk refer kepada buku ke, kepada research articles ke, tak ada kot. I think most of the time you can just copy, available responses yang ada dekat website. So I'll just use Google. And if let's say you are caught red-handed, we will award you with an F because it's plagiarism. Kita akan award you with an F. So try not to plagiarize. After all, untuk markah EET ni, dia tak affect pun your CGPA. Dia tak memberi kesan kepada CGPA you. Kita tidak ada grade. Kita tak ada cakap you akan dapat A+, A minus, tidak ada. What we do is, we just look at your responses and then we pitch your responses against the band. Kita ada band daripada A1 right up until C2. Ni cipher A1 ni dia beginner. Dia paling bawah. Jangan ingat A tu bagus. Tak. A1 tu maksudnya dia A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. A1 ni dia beginner. That means the basic English. Kalau C2 ni your English is almost perfect, even near to native speaker kita panggil. So that's the range of the band. So we just put you at what level. Itu je. And then it will be in your transcript. Dekat transcript nanti akan keluar. You punya level of cipher for written and spoken. So dia akan beritahu untuk bercakap, percakapan you punya level apa. Kalau untuk ni apa, based on this. So satu, janganlah anggap benda ni, jangan sambil lewa. If you want to really improve your proficiency, you really need to practice. Nanti I'll share you the samples. You can just look at the samples and try to practice lah. And number two, tapi jangan pula anggap benda ni terlalu macam serius sangat sampai you stress sampai tak perlu pun sebenarnya. Sebab kita pun dia tak affect your CGPA pun. So you just have to find somewhere in between. In between those two. So tak perlulah sampai nak kena you takut sangat ke, you macam okay tak apalah baik tiru je. Lagi susah kalau you tiru. So kalau you tiru, you copy from elsewhere and caught red-handed, kita akan award you with an F. Rugilah. Ataupun kalau tak award you with an F pun, we will ask you to recite again the ni. Tapi kalau you kena recite balik, ada kemungkinan, and it has happened before, students terpaksa extend satu semester semata-mata untuk EET ni. Ya betul, pernah terjadi sebelum ni. Terpaksa. Okay, sebab dia fail. So dia terpaksa extend satu semester. Kalau tidak, dia tak boleh grad. So nampak tak rugi kat situ satu semester sebab untuk EET yang tak ada kelas langsungnya. So rugi. So don't take the risk of copying answers, number one, from your friends. Tak perlu berbincang pun dengan kawan-kawan. Share lah apa you punya answer. I know some students, they create another WhatsApp group. Whatever responses buh kat dalam ni, nanti kita bincang. Kita boleh lah yang lain boleh tukar-tukar ke apa ke, jangan. So if let's say on Sunday 8:30 you ada something else, you have something going on, you may want to, contoh kalau dulu-dulu some students they have this they're doing their internship. So saya kata dengan dia, please inform your supervisor, your workplace supervisor that you just need to focus for 2 hours sahaja for that test. Not like the whole day, tak ada, just 2 hours. If you're working part-time pun, just jangan buat benda ni sambil buat kerja. Sebab you know why? Itu yang ada tendency bila you tak siap on time, you ada tendency of copying answers or getting answers from elsewhere. Sebab you nak siapkan benda ni cepat. Itu yang kita tak nak. Just focus on completing this. And I'm pretty sure all of you dah tahulah isu plagiarism. Okay, don't copy answers from your friends and whatnot. Saya rasa tak perlulah kot saya nak cerita. You guys pun dah nak habis dah belajar. So this is your last straw. Okay, so do it orang kata buat betul-betul orang kata bersungguh-sungguh. Tapi at the same time, don't pressure yourself too much. Okay, don't pressure yourself too much. Anything to ask before I move on with the speaking part pula? Semua okay So I'll stop presenting. Now I will share with you yang speaking task tu juga. Okay, now speaking task ni pun nanti sampel dia pun saya akan share with all of you. Jangan risau. Okay, I'll be sharing with you. Dah keluar ke? Okay. Alright. So let me just share this with all of you. So this is basically the sample question. Okay. Actually ini bukan sample question, it's a tape script. Okay, tapi at least you boleh tahulah. Okay. Sebab nanti bila you jawab, nanti you kena jawab. Sebab okay, nanti saya akan terangkan you macam mana you akan jawab soalan ni. Tapi ni tape script sahaja. Okay, in those days, sebelum the pandemic, before the COVID-19, before the pandemic, what the students used to do, dia akan datang ke lab dan dia akan jawab soalan ni. Because we need to record your responses. So you're going to the lab because this is a computer-based speaking test. It's a computer-based speaking test. Yeah. So you akan jawab dekat komputer, so you akan dengar arahan tu dan sebagainya lah. Tapi now that we are doing this online and also on top of that, kita tak boleh nak berjumpa face to face or physically. So kita dah tukar lah sedikit cara dia. And in a while, I'll explain to you. Alright? So you don't worry lah. Okay, so kita tengok soalan je dulu. So basically, how many tasks are there? 5 tasks. Ada 5 tasks. And it is compulsory for you to answer each task. So you kena jawab ke 5 task ni. Tapi lama ke mesti nak jawab 5 task? Tak lama. Ke 5 task ini dalam tempoh masa 20 minit. So lama lagi your writing test kan? Yang ini 20 minit sahaja. Okay, 20 minit. And for every task ini, you ada masa yang diperuntukkan untuk you prepare the response and you ada masa yang diperuntukkan for you to respond. Dua benda yang berbeza ya. Masa diperuntukkan untuk you prepare response and then masa yang diperuntukkan untuk you respond. So that you diberi masa tersebut. Jangan risau. Okay, and then on top of that, saya akan tunjuk soalan tu nanti and you will also be listening to suara yang menerangkan soalan tersebut. Bukan dia menerangkan, dibaca soalan tersebut. So kalau you terlepas pandang kalau you terlepas dengar orang yang cakap tentang soalan tu, boleh je tengok kat skrin tu sebab soalan tu sama dengan apa yang orang tu cakap. So you boleh dengar you boleh dengar dan you boleh baca at the same time. So ini sebab kita tak nak you terlepas pandang lah. Saya tak nak nanti you macam kalau kita baca sahaja tak ada orang cakap, nanti takut you tak faham atau you terlepas any part ke. So you akan ada orang bacakan soalan situasi tersebut and at the same time you sendiri pun boleh baca situasi tersebut simultaneously at the same time. Alright. Okay, so let us look at some of the samples here. So contohnya macam task number 1 ni, in this task you will participate. Ni nanti akan ada orang baca. Daripada awal ni sampai sudah akan ada orang. Sesuatu kita tulis itu voice. Nanti akan orang cakap English exit test, speaking, paper 2. Okay, ni pilot lah semua. This test consists of 3 tasks, simulated conversation, job interview and oral presentation. Dia memang you nampak dia kata 3 tasks, tapi untuk bahagian simulated conversation ke, simulated conversation tu ada 1 tak silap, 1 ke 2, nanti kita tengok. Job interview ni pun ada 2, oral presentation tu 1, so keseluruhan ada 5 lah. Ni 3 main groups lah. You ada simulated conversation, job interview and oral presentation. So let us look at task number 1. Nanti ada orang baca lah, dia kata in this task you will participate in a simulated conversation. You are given 20 seconds to prepare and 1 minute to respond. Tu macam saya cakap, you diberi masa 20 saat sahaja untuk prepare dan 1 minit untuk respond. Kalau cakap 20 saat tu macam laju sangat Mr. E, So kita tak nak you habiskan masa untuk prepare untuk soalan yang sangat-sangat pendek. So you just write down point sahaja sebenarnya 20 saat tu. Supaya you tahu adalah benda yang nak bercakap. So orang tu akan baca juga, and macam mana orang tu baca macam saya buat sekarang ni, you boleh tengok kat screen juga soalan atau situasi tersebut. So jangan risau. So listen to Suryani. I am under a lot of pressure. I have 3 projects to complete. Now the deadlines are near. I still haven't finished all the projects. I can't seem to focus. We also have to present the findings of the projects. All this work is affecting my sleep. What should I do? Okay. So you kena respond lah. Korang-korang macam Suryani tengah bercakap dengan you. Okay, Suryani tengah cerita dekat you. So you kena respond. Tapi you akan dengar suara cakap, you have now 20 seconds to prepare. So prepare dulu. Siap, dah habis. And then voice tu akan cakap, you now have 1 minute to respond. Baru you respond 1 minute. Okay, so you respond lah, hi Suryani, my name is Ilyas, and I'm first and foremost, I would like to apologize to you for what you have going through. You respond lah. Okay, I think first and foremost, what you need to do is to really organize your time. Cakap je. Okay, you respond. And then lepas tu akan ada bunyi beep. The moment you listen bunyi beep, satu bila bercakap tu kena dengar juga. So that is why nanti bila saya terangkan tentang macam mana kita nak buat benda ni, make sure your speaker, okay, functions well as well. Not only your mic, tapi your speaker tu kena function well. Okay, you kena switch on your speaker to the loudest volume supaya you boleh dengar bunyi beep tu. Tapi kalau you tak dengar pun, saya akan minta you berhenti. Jangan risau. Saya pun akan dengar bunyi beep tu. So if I see that you're still talking, I'll ask you to stop. Okay? And then voice tu akan cakap, end of task 1. So whatever the procedure untuk task 1, it is applicable for task 2, 3, 4 sampai 5 tu. Jangan risau. It is applicable. So the same process. Okay, the same process. Situation, few seconds to prepare, and then ada berapa minit untuk present, and then end of the task. Okay? So kita tengok pula task number 2. In this task, you will participate. Ini yang you ada. Sorry. Task number 1 tadi ada satu je soalan. Task number 2, there are 3 questions. Task number 3, satu je soalan. So semuanya ada 5 soalan. Itu yang saya cakap tadi, ada 5 task lah. So kat sini you akan dapat 3 soalan pendek. Dan soalan-soalan ni dia ambil semasa interview. So imagine that you are actually in an interview. Okay, in an interview. So the interviewer akan cakap lah, good morning, now let's get down to business. You akan dengar orang tu akan cakap, and you can even read dekat sini. Tell me about yourself. A very short interview. So again, 10 seconds to prepare. Tapi kalau tell you about yourself tu tak payah aku nak prepare. Just get yourself ready je lah. 10 seconds, apa je pun nak boleh tulis kan. And then you now have 1 minute to respond. So talk about yourself lah. So your name, when you were born, okay, which schools did you go, what's your qualifications. Don't talk too much about your personal life, tapi talk about, because this is an interview, a job interview. So talk about your skills, the good things about you, the apa benda yang bagus tentang diri you, how can you benefit the company, that kind of things lah. Kalau you rasa Mr. E boleh tak sebelum saya nak buat benda ni, saya nak check dululah. Kan dekat online kita boleh cari kan soalan macam tell me about yourself. So saya nak tengok macam mana respons untuk soalan-soalan macam tu. And then I try to imitate that kind of response. Boleh ke? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Itu kita tak panggil plagiarism, itu kita panggil preparation. Sebab bukan semua you ikut tu, maklumat dalam tu berubah ikut diri you. Cuma you ikut macam mana nak jawab soalan tu. Itu sahaja. Tapi again, you're given 1 minute sahaja. And then you move on to interview punya second interview question. Okay, can you tell me, so macam yang tadi samalah proses dia yang atas ni saya minta maaf. Habis 1 minute tu, you akan dengar bunyi beep. And then we move on to question number 2. Okay, can you tell me what attracted you to this organization and why you want this job? So soalan tu macam ada 2 dekat situ. Why you are attracted to this organization and why do you want this job? So we give you 20 seconds for you to prepare. But again, you're not going to write it out. You're just going to write points sahaja. Points sahaja. And then you have 2 minutes to present. You have 2 minutes to respond. And as you can see, as we move along, masa tu akan jadi lebih tinggi dan lebih tinggi lah untuk you respond. Sebab soalan tu pun jadi lebih banyak sedikit. Okay, ni soalan nombor 3. Saya tak nak repeat lah, repeatkan sama je dengan soalan 2 dan soalan 1. Kita tengok task number 3. Now task number 3 pula, you are given a situation. Okay, you akan diberi situasi. Read the situation, you akan dengar juga orang tu cakap pasal situation tersebut, and you will be given with a chart ke, a graph ke, kita panggil benda ni ialah stimulus. Okay, you'll be given a stimulus. So stimulus tu can be anything lah. Dia dalam bentuk non-linear. Can be a graph, a chart, a table, apa-apa sahaja. Tapi dalam bentuk macam ini. So your job is just to study this, and then lepas dah habis study tu, you akan dengar soalan lah. Okay. So soalan, dia punya soalan kat bahagian kat atas ni dia dah tulis sini. You are to compare and contrast and elaborate on the reasons for the new employee's failure to perform well. So kat sini dia adalah dia punya top reasons dia. And you are just to compare and contrast and elaborate. So you adalah sebab-sebab kenapa failures. Number 1, lack of motivation. Kita tengoklah the highest one is what? 32, coachability. Tapi you must be able to elaborate. Jangan cakap saja sebab kat sini tak ada elaboration. Elaboration comes from you. Elaboration should come from you. And kalau cakap macam mana nak elaborate Mr. E, kita create je ke content tu? Yes, of course. Sebab this is just, you know, a content saja. You create lah, you invent the details. You kena invent details tersebut. And how long will you be given to actually describe the chart and elaborate on it? 3 minutes. You akan diberi masa 3 minit untuk respon. So task number 3 3 minit. Task number 2 tadi ada 3 soalan. Soalan pertama 1 minit, soalan kedua dan soalan ketiga 2 minit each. And task yang pertama tadi, yang the first task tu, you're given 1 minute to respond. Itu yang saya cakap, it's not more than 20 minutes pun. It's a very short one. Okay? Any question about this speaking test tak?
Untuk yang task number 3 yang pi tu kan, kita kena explain each macam point dekat pi tu ke?
Kalau you tengok soalan dekat sini, dia kata you are to compare and contrast and elaborate on the reasons for the employee's failure to perform well. So these are the reasons kan. So of course you have to explain all. Bukan just choose the highest 3 ke, just choose the highest ke, tak ada. You can elaborate lah. Alright? Boleh? Any other question?
Mr. E?
Yes.
Speaking test ni dia akan buat dekat U-Future juga ke? Macam mana?
Itu saya belum terangkan lagi. Sekarang ni kita tengah discuss soalan je dulu. Nanti macam mana kita nak conduct tu, I'll explain in a while. Okay? Ada apa-apa lagi soalan? Just about the test. Before I explain on how to go about. Macam mana nak menjawab. Ataupun macam mana kita nak ni. Tak ada Okay. So I'll stop presenting. Okay, how will it be? Macam mana cara dia? Amai saya cerita dekat you. Kita akan pakai Google Meet. So we're going to use Google Meet. Okay. So when will it be? So what I will do is normally I will just make sure that kita jawab dulu the writing test, because writing test ni slot dia ditetapkan oleh bahagian hal ehwal akademik UiTM. So we tak boleh pilih hari-hari lain lah. One of the many reasons why sebab kita tak nak nanti dia punya U-Future tu becomes congested. Alright, U-Future becomes congested. So kita terpaksa make sure that sebab sekarang ni final exam, final test banyak yang menggunakan U-Future. So kita tak nak nanti it becomes too congested kalau bertindih dengan dengan kursus-kursus lain yang ada final test and final exam. So that is why hari tu when I ask you to decide, you just have to decide, because I have no say on that. I can just let you know what are the slots, and tapi dia tak boleh macam I can attend this, I can attend that, tak boleh. Dia macam it has to follow majority. So let's say majority chooses the majority of you choose Sunday 8:30, then everyone else has just to make some time for on Sunday 8:30 AM for the writing test. So once we are done with the writing test, nanti lepas tu I will discuss with you on the speaking punya schedule. So speaking schedule ni dia tak terikat dengan BHEA sebab kita tak pakai U-Future. We are going to use Google Meet. Okay, we are going to use Google Meet. So let me just give you hypothetically the situation that will happen. So let's just say we decide to have the test on Wednesday contohnya, because it seems that everyone is ready on Wednesday. Tapi kalau ditanya semua orang ke akan buat Wednesday, tak ada. So I'll come up with a slot. So contoh macam yang sama macam hari tu, tapi speaking test ni you can choose which slot that you are available and then at around what time lah. Tapi time tu tak adalah macam the specific time. Time tu contohnya whether you are available in the morning or in the afternoon. Okay, lepas tu nanti saya akan assign you pukul berapa lah. And normally I will ask the students to be on the standby mode. Walaupun saya assign you pukul berapa, but just in case kalau kawan you habis awal, I'll call you up, you join. Sebab saya tak nak tunggu exactly masa tu. Kalau tidak nanti kan kita akan habis masa macam tu sahaja. Rugi saya, rugi awak jugalah. So walaupun I will assign you to a specific time, but let's just say whoever yang buat sebelum you tu habis awal, I will just call you to join in. Okay? Alright, so we'll be using the Google Meet. So let's just say that everyone agrees to do on Wednesday and Thursday lah, contoh. So let's say on Wednesday, there will be like a list of students and every student will be assigned to a different time, tempoh masa yang berbeza. Because the duration of the whole thing is about 20 minutes, maybe I need 5 minutes sahaja, extra 5 for you to come in. Sebab kadang-kadang students, bila dia masuk, I tak boleh dengar you bercakap. I tak boleh nampak muka you clear. So susah saya nak assess you. Okay, so you nak kena settle. Lepas tu you punya bergerak sana sikit, bergerak sini sikit. Lepas tu tiba you jadi freeze. Internet connection pula tak bagus. So kita nak avoid lah perkara-perkara berikut. Jadi memerlukan masa juga. Okay, tapi ini yang sekejap lagi saya akan cerita dulu keperluan untuk Google Meet tu. Okay, keperluan untuk Google Meet tu. Okay, let us talk about macam mana kita nak buat dulu So saya akan panggil you join masuk dalam Google Meet. If everything is okay, I will share the screen where you can actually look at the question and at the same time you will be able to listen to the person talking or reading out the situation and the instructions. So you akan dengar and at the same time juga you boleh baca. Okay, you boleh jawab at the same time. You boleh baca, bukan boleh jawab, you boleh baca. So once you dah dengar semua tu, and then dia kata now you can respond. Contohnya arahan dia cakap you can respond now. So you respond saja. Bercakap je lah macam saya tengah bercakap sekarang ni. So the session will be video recorded. Jangan risau. Saya akan recordkan session you. I will record your session. Okay, sampailah habis 20 minit tu, I will stop the recording because nanti saya akan assess balik. Because kadang-kadang saya perlu tengok sebab sekarang ada markah ke, saya nak kena check balik dan sebagainya. Tapi lazimnya as you are responding, saya dah siap beri markah untuk you. Maksudnya saya akan beri markah masa ketika you tengah respond tu. Based on your responses lah. You respond saja, first task dah habis, saya dah terus tulis markah. Second task, saya dah terus tulis markah. Tapi we cannot reveal the marks to you. Okay, you just get the grade. You hanya dapat nanti masa dalam transkrip tu sahaja. Okay, kat level mana, itu je yang you boleh dapat. Sebab ini bukannya khusus yang kita nak kena kasih you ongoing marks ke apa, tak ada. Right? Okay, so that is how it's going to be for 20 minutes. And once you are done, you leave Google Meet and then I will ask the next person to join in. And that is how it's going to be. Okay, that is how it's going to be. Ada apa-apa soalan tak nak tanya?
Sir,
yes.
Masa nak jawab tu, share screen kan soalan kan?
Share screen soalan, ya betul. Tapi saya akan share, kita share tab. Sebab dekat tab tu, you akan dengar juga orang tu read out the question. So hanya, kalau you tengok dekat bahagian sharing screen ni, dia ada 3 kan? Your entire screen, a window and a tab. Tapi hanya tab ni sahaja you boleh dengar. Kalau saya share window dengan entire screen, you tak boleh dengar. Okay, you takkan dapat dengar orang tu read out the instructions. So I will share the tab. Tab ni akan bawa pergi dekat tab dekat Google Chrome ni, di mana saya dah siap-siap masuk dekat dalam tu. So you akan nampak soalan and you akan nampak yang play punya button tu, saya akan tekan play tu, you'll be able to listen to it juga. Okay? Boleh?
Lepas tu masa menjawab tu, share screen tu masih ditunjuk ke? Atau
masih ditunjuk. Saya tak akan tak akan tutup semua, takkan. Sampai you betul-betul dah habis. Lepas tu dah habis satu task, kita move on to the second task. Saya akan buat pergi ke second task tu juga. Akan share juga, semua akan keluar. Jangan risau. Okay? So you'll be able to view your questions the entire. Sebab bila orang tu dah bercakap, bila you nak tulis respon, kadang-kadang you nak refer balik. Terutama task ketiga tu yang ada chart tu. Maybe you nak respon, nak tengok kan? You nak tengok balik apa dia punya highest ke apa ke. So kita akan tunjuk, jangan risau sampai habis. Okay, you be able to view until the end. Jangan risau. So ada soalan daripada kawan you ni. Dia kata, sir, is there a need to open the camera? Ni saya nak jawab ni. Okay, tapi saya tunggu dulu pasal macam mana kita punya Google Meet ni dulu. So semua faham so you will be called one by one. You akan, so ni saya nak terangkan, saya nak beritahu awal-awal. So bila saya share Google Meet tu punya link, janganlah semua-semua nak masuk. Sebab saya hanya akan accept those yang pada ketika itu sahaja yang perlu masuk. That means according to the slot. So kalau you tertekan, you termasuk, and if kalau tiba-tiba saya tak accept your request, saya turn down your request, nanti lepas tu you susah nak join balik. Sebab dia dah capture kan, so dia tak boleh join balik. Nanti susah, saya tak tahu, dia pernah terjadi sebelum ni. So ikut waktu, sebab link tu is general untuk saya pakai keseluruhan satu hari tu. So you hanya join saja when your time has come, masa dah sampai, that is your time, that is your slot, then you click on it and then you join. Tapi sebelum tu saya akan beritahu lah. So just kata be on standby mode dekat dalam kita punya WhatsApp group. Kata kalau dalam WhatsApp group tu okay, kita start lah Aina Sarah dah habis. So the next person is Nur Kamalia. So once Aina Sarah dah keluar daripada Google Meet, I will go to WhatsApp. I'll say, okay Nur Kamalia, you can join the Google Meet now. So you click on the link and you masuk. And when you masuk terus-terus tak ada pun. Kita akan start terus, tak ada. I will ask you to introduce yourself and you kena tunjukkan dekat saya, dekat kamera tu, you punya student ID. Sebab kita tak nak ada orang lain yang camouflage you ataupun disguise as you. Kita nak ada itu bukti lah, that is you. And saya pun boleh juga pastikan itu adalah awak, because dekat you future, I should be able to view your photo. So I will compare lah. Unless foto first semester, you dah final semester, you ada buat plastic surgery kononnya lah tiba-tiba lain pula. Then pun saya akan minta verifikasi lah, tapi normally it didn't happen that way. Tak pernah terjadi pun macam itu ya. Okay. Alright. Dan satu lagi pesan saya sebelum saya nak cerita lah pasal kawan you punya soalan tadi nak kena switch on camera dan sebagainya. Satu lagi, just a gentle reminder, please don't have anyone with you in that room when you're doing your speaking to assist you. Sebab pernah terjadi. Kawan dia duduk depan dia, kawan dia explain dekat dia soalan tu. Dengar suara, ya ke? Ya macam mana? Saya kata, is there anyone in front? Oh tak ada. Dia tipu lah tu kiranya. Terkiranya sebab benda tu is a recording, everything is recorded ya. Semua itu kita record. So kalau saya rasa someone in front of you, I will have to ask you to show using your laptop camera tu, you kena tunjuk. And kalau betul ada, again, kita akan anggap tu sebagai plagiarism juga. Okay, so please don't outsmart us. You pun nak tengok soalan tu tak adalah critical sangat sampai you susah nak jawab. And ketika yang bagusnya untuk speaking test ni, dalam Google Meet tu, saya dan awak sahaja. Okay, so kalau you dah baca pun you tak faham soalan, you tanya je saya sebelum you nak jawab soalan tu. Mr. E, what does it mean by this word? Contohnya tak faham perkataan ni. I will assist you. I will let you know. Okay, daripada you suruh kawan you duduk depan you, explain dekat you soalan tu apa. Jangan buat macam gitu. Okay, sebab kalau buat macam gitu, kita akan anggap you meniru lah. Alright. Okay, so saya nak jawab soalan kawan you tadi. Kewajipan untuk switch on the camera. Yes, wajib. Kewajipan to switch on your microphone. Of course, this is a speaking test. You have to switch on your microphone. Kalau you tak switch on your microphone, I won't be able to listen to you. So internet connection must also be good ke Mr. E? Yes, we are using Google Meet. Your internet connection has to be at least average and above. I have to repeat ya, average and above. Okay, so macam mana nak solve this problem Mr. E? So as I mentioned to you, even saya kat rumah pun my internet connection is not really that good, but because of this assessment, I just have to come up with a plan, a creative plan. I'm not asking you to come up with a creative plan as well, tapi you know your place better. You know which spot that you can get good reception of your internet connection. You just know which spot that akan nampak muka you dengan clear dan sebagainya. Macam sekarang ni, kalau you tengok muka saya ni cerah, because right in front of me, there's this lampu yang saya pakai, saya letak yang orang selalu buat untuk live ke apa tu. I bought it. Okay, saya terpaksa lah juga. Kalau tidak nanti student tak nampak muka saya. So, please do whatever it takes. Number one, to make sure that your microphone is fully functioning. Number two, your web camera is fully functioning. Number three, your speaker is fully functioning. And of course, last but not least, your internet connection. There are four things that you need to to make sure before your speaking test. The first one is microphone, second is the web camera, the third one is your speaker, last one is internet connection. So ada yang tanya, Mr. E, my internet connection at home is very bad. However, if I go to my mom's punya kereta and if let's say I park dekat satu tempat ni, then I'll get good internet connection. But I won't be able to use my laptop because my laptop ni kalau bawa keluar susah sedikit. So I just need to use my handphone. Boleh ke Mr. E? Boleh. Cuma tinggal lagi when I share you the screen, I'm not really sure whether you are able to view the questions ke tidak. Itu yang jadi issue tu. Kalau students nak pakai handphone to respond to this. Sebab you can still use handphone to join Google Meet. Boleh, tak ada masalah. Cuma tengoklah handset you macam mana sebab you nak tengok soalan. Okay, tapi kalau you tengok contoh-contoh soalan ni tak adalah panjang sangat except for question number 3 tu je. Task number 3 tu kan. You nak kena refer pada. Tapi if you are able to view just by using your handphone pun boleh, tidak mengapa. Okay, kalau you tak nak pakai a desktop or a laptop terpulang. Boleh. Okay, so anything to ask? Ada apa-apa soalan? Everything is clear, yeah?
Yes, clear, Mr. E.
Okay, good. Now, I just want to remind you on the day of your assessments, whether writing test ataupun speaking test, nanti I will create you punya attendance dekat YouFuture. So once I have created the attendance, wajib untuk you tanda you punya attendance. Kalau tidak, fakulti you akan anggap you tidak menduduki peperiksaan. Sebab attendance itu wajib. So I will remind you from time to time. Kalau writing test tu 2 hours tu lah saya akan remind you untuk you check your attendance on YouFuture. Kalau you tak klik check tu, nanti saya risau nanti you punya attendance tak diterima. Sebab attendance kita kena report balik kepada fakulti. Fakulti masing-masing lah. They need the attendance. So nanti saya risau yang part tu je lah. Okay. So don't forget your attendance lah on YouFuture. Alright. So again, I would like to remind you untuk speaking test. All in all, summary, speaking test ni 4 requirements. The first one is your the first one is your speaker, your microphone. Second is your webcam. The third one is your speaker, and of course the last one is your internet connection. Now, bila kita cakap pasal webcam ni, macam saya cakap lah, kalau you nampak saya ni cerah, lebih kurang macam ni, I should be able to view you something similar to this. Kecerahan tu. Tak nak terlalu gelap. Okay, kadang-kadang saya faham. And then ada yang juga pakai background macam saya pakai background ni. Background ni kalau internet connection ke rumah okey, boleh pakai. Kalau tak, jangan pakai apa-apa background pun. Okay, jangan pakai apa-apa background. Tapi you cakap, tapi segan lah Mr. E sebab yelah saya dalam bilik saya kan orang mesti nampak pula bilik saya tu. Dan carilah tempat yang tak nampak sangat bilik you. Kalau saya cari yang belakang saya dinding. Okay, belakang saya dinding. Itu je, senang je. Sebab saya pun tak nak view your room pun sebenarnya ya. So, sebab kalau you pakai background macam saya pakai ni, dia akan consume you punya internet data, itu yang akan jadi buat benda tu lagi slow. Internet connection pun plays an important role here. Sebab this is a speaking test. Kalau throughout the speaking test, you asyik tersekat, saya tak boleh nak dengar you bercakap, risau saya. Apa yang saya nak access kat situ? So internet connection pun mainkan peranan yang penting. And untuk Google Meet ni dia tak require a very strong internet connection, tak perlu. Just an average one pun dah memadai. Average internet connection. So if your internet connection is average and above, then it should be okay. Alright, it should be okay. Okay, so that will be all. Thank you so much. Almost an hour kita punya explanation and briefing on EET 699 ni. So your next is your writing test which is scheduled on Sunday 25th to 8:30 AM. And nanti saya akan share you the link to this because this one nanti I will upload it on YouTube. And then lepas tu nanti you just view from YouTube saja. You takkan tengoklah video tu. You just view dekat video tu, you view dekat YouTube. If you need to refer back to this video, to this explanation. And I will also share with you the samples of questions nanti yang the one that I share this now tu, saya akan share kat dalam kita punya group. Okay, so that will be all for today. Thank you so much for your participation. I wish all the best and good luck lah for your EET test. So thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Mr. E.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. E.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. E.